It's time for the Cooper Group's road trip to the breadbasket of the Mohawk Valley. We're traveling in a new 2007 Kia Spectra, courtesy of Cooper Kia on Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
Whether you're coming to Canajoharie from the east or from the west on Route 5 or 5S or the Thruway, on the Thruway, by the way, you can see the sign behind me, Arkell. Make sure you stop here at the Arkell Museum. The collection of paintings here is absolutely unbelievable. They even have Andrew Wyeth and Homer Winslow among their hundreds of paintings. You can take some of the more famous paintings and make them into a postcard yourself if you would like. When we entered, we came into the Great Hall, and on the floor was a map of the Mohawk Valley.
During colonial times, the Mohawk Valley was called the breadbasket of the colonies. This fertile, picturesque farmland became the subject of paintings. Many of these paintings became part of the collection of local art collector and beechnut founder Bartlett Arkell.
Well, originally, back in 1920s, Bartlett Arkell wanted to give the people of Canajoharie a gallery where they could experience the art that he'd experienced in England and Holland and other places in Europe. And so originally he commissioned copies of great masters, but then he went on to collect American art, and now we have one of the most amazing collections with Winslow Homer, Mary Cassatt, and other leading American artists. He actually incorporated in to help promote his products. A lot of the things in his collection were views of the Mohawk Valley, and he wanted people to equate his products with the clean, crisp, pristine Mohawk Valley. And so he used the images of the valley to help promote his products. So when you first walk in, you come to a room where an actual map of the Mohawk Valley is going to be under your feet. You can walk along the path of the Mohawk River, try to find your home, try to find where you had lunch that day. It's also, there's some unusual land formations that have names. Sometimes people know the land formation, they don't know the name of it. You might be able to find that on the map. And of course, the original gallery is still here, and the original collection is still on view.
You're invited to Family Discovery Day this afternoon at the Arkell Museum. Make animal masks, landscape collages, and artisan musician Tom Hanford will present Chimneyside Tales. That's today from 12:30 to 4:30 at the Arkell Museum at Canajoharie.
Country road, when I saw a man come through the fog on horseback, it must have been Wash Loomis's go.
When you come here to Melissa's, be sure to meet Melissa. She is a graduate of the CIA, not the one you're thinking of, but of the Culinary Institute of America. And trust me, she brought the Culinary Institute of America here to Canajoharie.
Well, I was raised here, and I moved away 20 years ago, and my husband and I just moved back to the area 3 years ago to be near family. And I stayed home with my children for a couple years and decided to get back into cooking, started catering a little bit, and then that turned into something bigger, so we decided to open a restaurant. Everything is made here. We bake our own bread every day. We come in early, we bake the bread, we do all the muffins. Everything's from scratch with butter. There's no artificial ingredients in anything. And just the fact that we all love working here, and it's just a fun place to be and work and cook good food. That's it. It's just great to see familiar faces, my old teachers, all my friends, family are coming in here, so it's great to be back home.
After lunch, treat yourself to one of Melissa's homemade desserts. I came in and my eyes zeroed in right here on the cranberry orange muffins. If you come here for breakfast or lunch this week and say that you love Mohawk Valley living, you'll be treated to a free muffin for dessert.
We crossed the Mohawk River to Palatine Bridge, named for the settlers from the Palatinate region of Germany who settled here. This was the land of the Mohawks. The Palatines were attracted to its fertile soil and proximity to the Mohawk River. We visit the property of Willis Barscheid, who cares for the land with veneration for the Mohawks and Palatines who lived and died here.
If you are a student of the Revolutionary War, be sure to travel a little bit north of Canajoharie on Route 10 until you come to Kilt's Road. Follow that road down here, and you're going to be in an area where history abounds, because the Queen, way back in the 18th century, of course, of England, there were people from Germany who had settled in England, the Palatines. Well, she wanted to get rid of them, so she sent them over here they eventually settled in this area, this beautiful area, and what they did was grow crops that later became food. It was the breadbasket for the Revolutionary soldiers under General Washington, and the barns in which they stored all of these things were barns like the one behind me. It's a Dutch barn. This particular barn was built at the end of the 18th century, sometime in the 1700s. It's worth a trip out here to see it.
Kilts Road is a few miles north of Palatine Bridge on Route 10. It is the private property of Willis Barscheid, so please be respectful.